Hey everybody, it's Bolshi here back with another Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous build video. Today we're going to be looking at one of the least popular companions, Sosiel. Now while his starting stats and feats aren't that great, the fact that he's a full divine caster with domains means he automatically can be a vital member of any party. We're going to take it a step further by focusing on the Abjuration School of Magic, which is going to make him really great at dispelling and also banishing and dismissing demons. Now, having a dedicated Dispeller in your party is crucial because many of the hardest enemies in the game come pre-buffed with a ton of magical buffs that make them almost impossible to hit. Having our Sosiel specialized in dispelling magic is really going to help us peel those buffs off faster than we would normally be able to do. Alright, so let's jump right into the build. Now, there's no need to go level by level. This is a very simple build. It's all 20 levels in Cleric. When you get Sosiel, he has relatively high wisdom. He comes with the feats Selective Channel, Extra Channel, Toughness, and Medium Armor Focus. And these really aren't the greatest feats, and I think that's a big reason why people don't like Sosiel. But as soon as we get him at about level 7, we're going to go straight into Spell Focus Abjuration. And the reason why we do this is so that we can take Spell Specialization, which we'll do at level 9. It doesn't say this, but this is spell specialization right here, right there. And we're going to start specializing in our dispels, and that's going to increase our caster level of our dispels. And when we hit level 11, we pick up Greater Dispel Magic, which can dispel multiple buffs depending on your caster level. So getting good dispels is all about having high caster level, and that's what we're going to try and maximize here with Sosiel. So here we go, we get Spell Specialization. We're going to take regular Dispel Magic for the first couple of levels. With Spell Specialization, every level you get to choose a different spell. And for levels 9 and 10, we're going to go with regular Dispel Magic. And then from 11 until the end of the game, we're going to go with Dispel Magic Greater. At level 11, we're going to pick up Spell Penetration. This is for our Banishment and Dismissal spells. Those are affected by spell resistance, so we want to be able to have this. We're going to go Destructive Dispel at level 13, Greater Spell Penetration at 15, Greater Spell Focus Abjuration at 17, and finally Metamagic Heighten at level 19. You could probably swap these around if you wanted to. I might put Heighten either at level 15 or 17, just because some of the later levels of the Cleric spellbook are kind of lacking. And being able to heighten good spells from your lower levels up into those spell slots is really helpful. And using Metamagic on Sosiel is fantastic because he is a prepared caster, so you can throw Heighten on your spells and it doesn't increase the cast time like it does with spontaneous casters. For Sosiel's Mythic Path, we're going to go Mythic Rank 1, Domain Zealot. That's going to allow us to use all these great domain abilities as swift actions rather than standard actions. It really improves his utility for the group and his action economy. At Mythic Rank 2, we're going to take extra Mythic ability and pick up the Community Domain. Now, the community Domain gives you Guarded Hearth, which is really an essential buff for any major boss fight. It allows you to add your clerics, the person who casts it, their wisdom modifier as a sacred bonus to all saving throws and attack rolls for 1 hour per level. You can only use this once per day. But for your big fight of the day, you want to throw this down, and it is a tremendous buff. At level Mythic Rank 3, we're going to take Abundant Casting. Mythic Rank 4, we're taking Spell Penetration Mythic so that we can land some of those Banishment and Dismissal casts. Improved Abundant Casting at Mythic Rank 5. Extra Mythic Ability, Greater Abundant Casting at Mythic Rank 6. This is about level 17 or 18. That's when Sosiel has his full spellbook. At Mythic Rank 7, we're going to take Impossible Domain Madness. Now I know this is probably the only choice that's maybe questionable by Sosiel's RP and his character, but really he does have a recurring theme of like anger and repressed rage. So I think that the Madness Domain is actually kind of fitting for RP choices as well. But it gives you some really incredible buffs. It gives you an untyped buff to either attack rolls, saving throws, or skill checks. You get to choose one. And that buff is equal to half your level in the class that gave you the domain. So for Sosiel at level 20, that'll be a plus 10 buff to either attack rolls, saving throws, or skill checks. And the other two get minuses. They get penalties of -10. So if you really, really need to hit a boss, then you can give your attack roll buff, and that person will also take saving throw and skill check penalties. You can also use this as a debuffing tool if you want to debuff an enemy's attack rolls or saving throws. You can give them the skill check bonus, and then they'll take the penalty on the attack roll and the saving throw. And I'll show some of that in the combat demo here in just a second. So this can be really great for landing like your banishments, your dismissals, or Ninio's Phantasmal Killer, or weird things like that. At Mythic rank 8, we're going to take Spell Focus Mythic for Abjuration, and this is going to increase the save DC for our banishments, our dismissals, even things like Holy Aura, which has an added effect on it. We'll talk about that when we get into spell selection. At Mythic rank 9, we get Impossible Domain Nobility. This is going to give us a nice little +2 bonus to its Insight, which is kind of a rare buff for attack, AC, combat maneuver, defense, and skill checks for a number of rounds equal to half your cleric level. So 10 rounds basically at max level. And then finally at Mythic rank 10, we get Sorcerer's Reflex, which lets you cast an instant cast, a swift action spell after every initiative roll. So every combat you get one instant cast spell. All right, just a quick run through of spells and domain abilities. For spells, if you don't have another divine caster in your party, now I'm running an Azada playthrough with an Oracle, so Sosiel, he can load up on Dispels and Dismissal and Banishment and things like that. But if this is your only divine caster, you definitely want to have Shield of Faith up. That's an AC bonus for all of your party. Unbreakable Heart is really great in the early game. There's a lot of confusion and effects that cause you to attack your own party members, and if you cast this on them, they stop attacking you, which is really nice. You get control of them again. Remove Fear is good for the same reason. It will suppress fear effects. This is kind of interesting. Stunning Barrier, since it's Abjuration, will benefit from all of our spell focus. You could even heighten this if you really wanted to. So if something is attacking Sosiel, it has a pretty good chance of being stunned with this. Also, him having True Strike is nice in the domain slot because he can use True Strike to land his Visions of Madness touch attacks. At second level, really the stat buffs are probably going to be your priority here. He gets Protection from Evil Communal, which is nice. Stat buffs in addition to Align Weapon. Sometimes I see for my ranged characters, they don't benefit from the Covenant of the Inheritor if you don't have that item. Arrow of Law is good for damage, so is Bone Shaker. At third level, we start to get our Dispels. Now, at this point in the game, it's not terribly important to dispel because not a lot of things have buffs to dispel, but you still want to have it just in case. Archon's Aura is an excellent debuffing spell. It's good to cast on Sosiel. He's going to have high wisdom. Magical Vestment for AC for your party. Delay Poison. These are all good spells to have. Resist Energy. I generally like to cast this from a spontaneous caster, but you could prepare it on Sosiel as well. At level 4, we pick up Dismissal. So now this is basically a save or die for any demon that's not on its home plane. So for a large chunk of the game, you can take this spell and you can heighten it, and it's basically a save or die on a will save. Crusader's Edge gives you Bane against demons. This is a crucial buff to have on your melee at almost all times. Go between those two. If you don't have somebody else casting Death Ward and Freedom of Movement, then it's nice that he has this as well. Again, being a full divine caster, he really has a ton of buffs. At level 5, I heighten Dismissal here. Life Bubble. There's a nice little combo with Life Bubble. If you have somebody that can cast Mind Fog, you Life Bubble your own party, and then you can cast Mind Fog on everybody, and it won't affect your party. And since Mind Fog affects will saves, this is really good for landing those Dismissals and Banishments. Let's see, at level 5, we also have Spell Resistance, and if you're getting items to increase your caster level, or maybe you take School Mastery Abjuration, that will increase the caster level of your spell resistance. Good for the same reason for Break Enchantment, because it's a caster level check that you need to pass to dispel things. So all of these things synergize really well with the Abjuration build that we're going for. At 6th level, we finally pick up Banishment. This is really good for cleaning up kind of like the mooks, not the big bad demons, but you know, when you've got a bunch of little babaos running around that you want to take out, Banishment combined with a Mind Fog is a really strong combo. We also pick up Dispel Magic with Greater Dispel Magic, and this is really where the build takes off and becomes invaluable, because you start facing monsters that have a ton of buffs, and being able to dispel multiple buffs at the same time is great. They added something recently in a patch that you can only dispel one buff per 4 caster levels. So having spell specialization, which allows us to pass the caster level check to dispel the buff, but also it will allow us to dispel more buffs than we normally would be able to. True Seeing, Communal, all your standard stuff. I've heightened just about all my good spells here because I don't think there's a ton of great 7th level spells. So I want to fill these slots with more Dispel Magic, with more Dismissals, and more Banishments. That's where Heighten really comes into play here. 8th level, we pick up Holy Aura. Holy Aura is a great spell. It gives you a deflection bonus to AC, +4 resistance to saves. It gives you spell resistance. It also makes you immune to mind-affecting effects. And finally, when an evil creature attacks you, it has to make a Fortitude save or it's blinded. And now this is really going to benefit from our investment in Spell Focus Abjuration. So Sosiel pops this, it affects all of your party, and anybody that gets hit has a good chance of blinding their attacker. Greater Angelic Aspect is nice. Frightful Aspect should be up on somebody, make everything shaken. And at 9th level, again, there's not a lot of great spells at 9th level. Mass Heal's nice. Winds of Vengeance, Energy Drain. These things all have their place, but this is another really great time to heighten things like Dispel Magic, Dismissal, and Archon's Aura. I would definitely heighten Archon's Aura here. So just a quick overview of the domain abilities we get. Now, these are amazing because of Domain Zealot. All of these things we can cast as a swift action. And if you want to, you can cast one domain ability as a swift action and another as a standard action. So you can do 2 of these per round if you choose to. You can also cast one domain ability and a spell, which is really nice as well. So we start off with Touch of Good, which gives us a sacred bonus to attack rolls, skill checks, ability checks, and saving throws equal to half your level. So at level 20, this will be a +10. This is a phenomenal buff, and you get it, 3 plus your wisdom modifier times per day. And this is unbuffed. So we're looking at something like 12 or 13 casts of this per day as a swift action. And it lasts all round. It's basically like True Strike, or half of a True Strike, but it lasts for a full round. So you pop this on your melee character. For me, it's Seela. She does the most damage, and it gives her a tremendous bonus to hit. Same thing with Bit of Luck. This allows you to roll twice and take the better result. For crit fishing builds, this is amazing. One of my standard combos is to give Seela Touch of Good, Bit of Luck, and just watch her destroy things. Again, this will compound with things like Outflank and abilities that activate on crit. Divine Fortune is basically this Bit of Luck, but only for Sosiel, and it lasts for half of his level in rounds. So you cast this on yourself, and you have 10 rounds of taking the better result for any d20, like saving throws or Dispel Magic checks, things like that. At 8th level, he picks up Holy Lance from the Good domain, which imbues a weapon with the Holy special weapon property, which gives you, I believe it's an additional 2d6 holy damage per swing. So again, and this lasts for half your level in rounds, so you can pre-buff with this. Again, it's good to give to somebody that has a lot of attacks per round. These are our default domains. All the other domains that we get from Impossible Domain are down here. So from the community domain, we get Calming Touch. This allows us to do a little heal, but more importantly, it allows us to dispel fatigued, shaken, and sickened conditions as a swift action. Pretty handy. Guarded Hearth, we get this at level 8. This allows us, like I said earlier, to add your wisdom modifier as a sacred bonus to attack rolls and saving throws for your whole party. You can only use this once a day, but it really, really comes in handy. Then we get our Vision of Madness. You can see we have attack rolls, saving throws, skill checks. Remember, you get a bonus equal to half your level for whichever one you choose, but then your target also gets a penalty for the other 2 things. So, if I buff Seela with this, she's way over here, of course. So you can see if I look at Seela's attack rolls, she has a +10 to Vision of Madness, but she has a -10 to her saving throws and to all of her skill checks. So it's really, you would only really use the attack rolls when you need to hit something and you're not worried about saving throws so much. You can also use this one, the skill checks, offensively, so that your target gets a bonus to skill checks, but also gets a penalty to attack rolls and saving throws. And this is an untyped bonus and penalty. It stacks with everything else. You can do this as a swift action, so it's a pretty good combo to Vision of Madness skill checks into a Dismissal. That's a really strong combo. Aura of Madness gives you Confusion. An Aura of Confusion, not bad, not great. These two really have no real use. Finally, from Nobility, we get Inspiring Command. This gives us a +2 insight bonus to attack rolls, AC, combat maneuver, and skill checks for half your level in rounds for the entire group. And you get to use this 12 times a day. So this is a fantastic buff. And it stacks with just about everything because insight is a rare source of bonuses. Now this is a clip from a Playful Darkness kill on Unfair that I had at level 14, and it really goes to show the importance of dispelling and how good Sosiel can be for hard bosses. Now I'm going to fast forward through this. I'm just going to show you the important parts where Sosiel did something that really helped out with the kill. Alright, we got to get some dispels off on Playful Darkness here. Got displacement, we got shield, we got greater heroism. Alright, I think we're in business here. And she also gets a instant cast, so I'll go ahead and dispel again. We got foresight. Very nice, very nice. Give him one more dispel. Got see invisibility, greater invis, okay, and Owl's Wisdom. And Stone Skin. Okay, that was all the things I wanted to get. Perfect! We're now going to buff Sela's attacks. At this point, let's see here. I think with Sosiel, she has Visions of Madness for 2 more rounds. I'm going to give Visions of Madness skill checks to Willoughby because he is going to be intimidating in just a second here. Still have my Visions of Madness on skill checks. I still have my Fortune. Let's see if we can land this Dazzling Display. Hey, we got him! 66 DC, 72 roll. He is, that's for 2 rounds, all right? Let's give, see, Lan has Fortune. And, oh, he's not in the Guarded Hearth, though. So I'm going to give him Touch of Good. Ooh, actually, Sela. She's coming up next. Now, is switching my weapon a free action? Hope so. I really hope so. No, it's a move action. I don't think I even want to do that right now. I don't need Finian. Just gonna go ham. There it is. One more. Come on, come on. One more crit. Ooh, we'll get him next round. We'll get him next round. Lan gets the kill. Very nice. Very nice. So you can see on Unfair, before all the dispels and all the other buffs that Sosiel provides, we're looking at an AC of 94, which is virtually unhittable. Tons of buffs that need to come off before we can kill this guy without using cheesy mechanics. So on Unfair, if we look at this attack bonus here, this is my Sela attacking Playful Darkness with a +57 to hit against a 56 AC, and a lot of that is due to Sosiel. He's got +7 from Guarded Hearth, +7 from Visions of Madness. He did a ton of dispelling and really had a lot to do with getting the kill. And this could have been even better. I didn't have my Finian on or a weapon enchantment, so this could have been actually done easier. All right, so just a little demo here. Now, my party is actually level 14 in this clip, and Sosiel's max level. This is just something I made with Toybox, so it doesn't represent a real fight, but we do have this CR21 Mythic Greater Calipacus here, and this dude's pretty dangerous. So I left Ember in the party because she just makes such a good combo with Sosiel. This is my Benevolent Beguiler build for Ember. So one of the great synergies is that Sosiel has Life Bubble, which makes us immune to Mind Fog, so we can just drop Mind Fog on our party. We're going to try and get all these guys. Let's see, did everybody fail? She has really high DCs. Yes, he did fail. That's perfect. And we're also going to debuff this guy's saving throws here. And hopefully he doesn't kill us before Sosiel gets a chance to do his thing. We get to Sosiel. Now Sosiel, hopefully, he should be able to come over here. He's going to debuff this guy by giving him the skill checks buff. That's going to buff this guy's skill checks by +10, but it also gives him a -10 to attack and saving throws. So let's see what happens. It lands. And I got him. Very nice. Okay. So now I'm going to hit him with a heightened dismissal. See what happens. His will save right now. Let's take a look. His will save is -6, which is pretty good. So let's see what we can do here. And we got him! That very difficult fight for a level 15 party. Let's take a look at the saving throws here. -10 saving throw from Vision of Madness, -4 from Evil Eye, -10 from Mind Fog, -2 from Frightful Aspect, which I have up here. And on a DC 31, he had a -6 to roll. So we basically automatically win on that one. And let's see here. With these guys, we're going to go ahead and hit them with a Crushing Despair, and maybe we can banish them. See what happens. And now hit them with the Banishment. Got him! Nice! Wait, how did I take out that many hit dice? 12 hit dice. I should definitely not be able to take out that many of them. I'm only supposed to be able to take out 2 hit dice per caster level. My caster level is 20. Oh, I guess I can, because I'm level 20, so that's 40 hit dice, and I took out 3 of them. Very nice. Okay. So Sosiel definitely can do more than just buff and debuff, although he does buff and debuff extremely well. All right, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.